Incoming transmission.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another transmission from the Outpost Nerd. I'm the nerd of the Outpost, and I hope everyone's having a great Saturday night. I just thought I'd stream tonight, bored, just chat and talk. Haven't done this in a while. The stream of no topics, but it's Saturday night. I'm between paydays, so thought I'd stream. Hope everyone who hears this has a good night and is having a great weekend. But I just stream of conscience, So I just been relaxing today. Need to do yard work, but the lawnmower's broken. Got to figure out that. Been trying to figure that out, actually. But what do you do when you live in a tourist town, you're broke, and it's Saturday night? You get on YouTube like the other nerds. But, things have been bothering me. I've just been thinking about a lot of stuff. Started this new job about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I think I've been in this job about a month. I'm working at a middle school, which I really enjoy. It's easy and difficult at the same time, if that makes any sense. It's easy that I'm working with kids, but these kids that I work with have issues, and it makes you have to be on your guard a lot. I work with autistic kids, and they're great. They're smart. They're funny. They're goofy. But they have these issues that can change at the drop of a hat. And it's taken some getting used to. I've had to learn new ways to handle people, which some would say it's good for me, and I agree. Like the hours, like being able to get going first thing in the morning and then be done by mid-afternoon. But dealing with some of the regular kids I deal with is a lot more difficult than dealing with my special needs kids. I love my kids. I'm very protective of them. They're awesome. They do get on my nerves sometimes, but they're kids. They do that. And I came to the conclusion a few days ago that if I acted half as bad as these kids do sometimes, I need to go back and apologize to a lot of my teachers. The day is very structured. The principals and teachers are always pretty much a lot of the time really watching them, especially during lunch. They come in, sit down, they sit down at the tables, and they get called by numbers to table numbers to go and get their food. I remember, and this is 23 years ago. I was in middle school, y'all. I was in middle school from 99 to 2001. And what we did at my school, we walked to the cafeteria And since it's here in Florida, we would all most of the time would be outside lining up. Our assistant principal would have us line up. He had poles that we would line up behind, and he'd come down and see if you had to be perfectly straight. You had to be perfectly straight in line. Then he'd call you in, and even if one person was out of line, he'd pass you and go to the next one. And we'd just go in and around the cafeteria and get our food and sit wherever we wanted. We could get up and move tables, but now they now they can't do that. The principals are there watching them, and since I'm working there, I have to keep an eye on them, keep them, call them out if they get in trouble or if they do something wrong. And my thing is, I think the kids. I try to get there before the assistant principal, one of them do, because I figured the kids would want to deal with me more than they would with the principal, because the principal comes to you, you're already in trouble. But I really like it. It's probably I like it 80% to not liking it 20%. I guess that makes sense. But it's teaching me a lot. It's teaching me how to be assertive, but not mean. This job is, dealing with kids that you gotta really be nice with. That the typical getting angry and yelling does not work with my kind of kids. The kids I'm working with. You go up, they go up. There's no, and you cannot top these kind of kids. But they're nice, they're kind. They just have those social problems, social cues and learning disabilities. And I see myself a lot in these kids, like what they do. I'm like, oh, I remember being like that. But they're good kids. I like it. I like the job. The money's decent. That's one good thing. And just I come on here onto YouTube and I run into more drama than I do at work. It is utterly ridiculous what some of these people, some of these grown adults will do. My thing is, move on. A lot of us work clear across the country, sometimes even the world from each other. What does what do we interact as most of the time disembodied voices here on YouTube? What is the point? What will I do on here that will affect you, that makes you think you have to come and attack me or attack someone I care about? So my friends. Yeah, and a lot of these people on here, I've gotten to be closer with a lot of them than most people in my life. It is, and it's utterly ridiculous. The internet is infinite. Why? Why do people have to come and attack people on here for the smallest little slight? It is utterly insane to me. It is worse than the middle school I work at. And you know what? You know what? I don't do this. Oh, God. Someone is just going completely insane at me and my friends. You know what? I'm gonna. Hold on a sec. Let me do something real quick. You know what? Hold on a sec. I'm sending a message on Discord. Hey, Daisy girl, thanks for being here. I'm just kind of venting and talking about stuff, random stuff, just stream of consciousness kind of show tonight. Got bored, and I'm broke, so I can't go out between paydays, But thank you for coming. I don't understand the need, but I'm going to get back to what I was saying. I don't understand the need to attack people when you're in a space that's infinite. The internet is so large and has so much content that I could watch a streamer probably every hour of every day for my entire life and probably not watch the same one twice. That's how much content is on it. So why? Why would you feel the need to attack somebody? Success is because you feel like they don't deserve what they're working on, their success. Or hey, Suzanne, thanks for being here. It's like you don't think they deserve what they're doing, what they're building. And that's what every creator on here does. They're trying to build something. Success, and I have said this in multiple streams, in multiple chats, on multiple shows. Success is not this precious, rare commodity that there's only enough to go around a certain amount of people. So that means that, if he gets successful or she gets successful, there's not enough for me. That means there's less for me. I have to destroy them. No, you don't. It's like, I don't like calling people out, but there's a certain mass superhero in quotes, going around attacking my friends right now because he was outed for his day job, which he did adult films, which is fine if he would have owned up to it. And I don't care if he hears me. I've already said my piece to him on Twitter. He needs to just stop. He needs to just go away. I don't know what the purpose of all this attacking is from him. But just go away. Or go do your thing. Go off into another corner of the internet and leave us alone. Leave this little corner that we have built, that some of us have been spending a year or two. I think I've been on YouTube for maybe a year and a half. And I've had my ups and downs. Had times where I didn't stream for weeks or do any content, and I'm trying to get out of that. My thing is, I have to figure out what I want to do before I do it, and I've come to things that I enjoy, that I'm doing for me. Like Sunday nights, come back here on Sunday nights for my RPG Nightmare show. I love doing it. I think for me, it's fun content that I enjoy. I share basically people's bad times that I find on Reddit from their gaming experiences, and share my thoughts and my experiences playing tabletop RPGs or video games, or just games in general, video games, regular games, tabletop RPGs. And you know what? None of them have broken more than 10. None of them gotten over 10 views, but you know what? That's fine. I'm not begging for views. I'm just saying it's content I enjoy. I love Dungeons and Dragons. It's one of my favorite things in the world. It allows me to scratch that creative itch while also scratching that acting itch, the storytelling. I love storytelling. I love it. I've been working over probably started in I've been working since I got out of high school in '06 on a story, um, a, a novel, and I love it. I'm really enjoying this world I've created. I've got the basis of it. I've gotten some of the characters, my three main characters. I think I figured them out, and now I'm trying to figure out story elements to add in. Um, I've kind of created this idea of epic creatures kind of controlling the world that these people are fighting over. And you know what? If I never get it published, that's fine. This is a story for me. This channel is for me. And if people want to come in and join me and watch it or even join me on streams, it's fine. But if you disrespect, you attack my friends, people I have cried with, I have fought with, I have loved, you will not be here. I will not hesitate to throw people on their ass and let the door hit them with the good Lord split them. I will not allow the attack anymore. These are my friends. Some of them are like my family now. Some of them I tell more to than I do my blood relatives. You know that old saying, blood is thicker than water. Well, that kind of continues, and it says love is thicker than blood. I'm not gonna continue with the middle school dramatics when I do that in my day job. If I wanted to do it, I'd ask for more hours at work. It's I'm just I've always, ever since I was little, always hated seeing people be hurt. I've always been I've been more empathetic than probably it's been good for me. And empathy is not bad. It's not a bad thing, but it's when you start worrying yourself sick sometimes over little things about, oh my God, how is this going to make people feel? And I've had teachers tell me, you go too far, nerd. Well, they didn't call me nerd. They used my real name, but I'm not telling them. It's just this idea that and it's more prevalent now, and I think the last 10 to 15 years, that you said this to me, you deserve to lose everything. It's this, we see it in the culture now. It's this idea that you have to agree with me 100% or you're a Nazi, or you're racist, or you're just, you don't deserve anything. You deserve to lose everything. See, I grew up in the 90s. I was part of that group of kids, the last group of kids that went outside, that played in the woods, that played in the street. I remember growing up in my house. We had so many kids in my neighborhood, but the one place on our street that everyone played at was right in front of my house, because the house across the street from us and our house in front of us had these giant oak trees that just created this giant canopy over their street. You go out in the sun, you start frying because the heat is so bad. But right there, and we would bring out the water hose. We drank out of water hoses. We played in the dirt. Sometimes you played so hard we would eat it, get thrown everywhere. We jumped on trampolines. We swam in the creek or even the ditch. It didn't cross our mind that this is sewage we're playing in. This idea now that this bubble wrap society that we live in now is just, how do people raised on South Park, how do people raised on South Park, The Simpsons, oh, all these gritty action movies get so soft in their 20s and 30s? I don't get it. I don't understand it. You could throw most of the insults thrown at me nowadays. I'm old enough to, like, I have heard them before. I do not care. I'm a short, fat, little balding guy. I am. I shave my hair because yes, help Suzanne. She's in a tough spot. Please help her with in any way you can. Any little amount would be helpful. What? What, Shelly? Hi. Come and join me if you want. Hi. And speaking of pain in the asses, it's talking trash and truth. I gave you a link. You can join if you want. I didn't leave you out. I just got bored. What else can you do when you're between paychecks? What can you do when you live in a tourist town? Everything's so expensive and you're between paychecks and you're trying to save money? You do what every other nerd geeking person does. The only weenie I want to bite into is a hot dog from the grill. Oh, I might have hot dogs tomorrow. Damn it, now you got me thinking about food. It's too late to eat. Damn you, it's T3. You probably. What principles is that? What I do? I didn't do nothing wrong. I just got bored. But oh, she left the stream and that's against her principles. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sometimes it comes to that. And you know, you got to put yourself first, especially your mental and physical health. Yeah, I understand. I'm you know, oh, didn't want to do that. You know, I had another realization last week. With this new job, and that's what I was talking about earlier, Shelly. You have so much space. You have infinite space in cyberspace. Why do people feel they need to come in and attack people? I don't get it. I don't personally do that unless I will respond to it, but I won't be the instigator. I don't like bullying. I don't like harassing. I don't like any of that shit. I don't like it in my real life. And you know what? I would get in trouble because I would fight against the bullies in school. I would. You come at my friend, you're going to have problems with me, even when I was a kid. Sometimes it'd come back to bite me in the ass, but I also had friends that understood where I was coming from and would stand up for me. I remember one time at my high school, it was an open campus. We didn't have hallways; we had paths to go to class outside. And between the special education building and the fine arts building, there was just one small, maybe 8 foot wide um, walkway. And one side was the special education building, the other side was the choir room, and the choir room door was right there. And I remember walking. I was walking to the special education building because they had this really cool store where they would sell all sorts of candies and hot pockets for lunch. And they made a lot of money for their department that way, and it was awesome. It was great. Oh, I miss it. They don't do it anymore because one of the janitors stole from these kids, these special needs kids, and this janitor decides to steal from them. That's not my point. I was in band, so I wasn't part necessarily of a certain clique. I was just, I guess you'd say, band nerd. But I had friends in all sorts of different cliques and all sorts of different social groups in school, and even different grades. But one of my friends, one of the greatest guys I've ever met, and still say this to this day, he was 7 feet tall in freshman year, arms the size of tree trunks, could throw me, and I've never been a small guy. I've been always been chubby, but he could throw me 50 feet if he wanted to. He was a lineman for our football team, but he also played tuba in the band. So he would leave the games a little before halftime to go change into his band uniform and march halftime show with us. But I don't I remember getting cornered by like these three guys that did not like me. And I knew shit was about to happen. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I'm about to get my ass kicked. And just then, I don't know how this happened. I don't know what guardian angel I had that told him this. But we're standing right outside the choir room door. He comes out and he puts his arm around me. Hey, what's going on? Now, this guy, my friend, is twice their size. And they just looked at him and was like, oh, dude, nothing. We're good. We were just talking, that typical bully when the bully's like, oh, shit. The oh, shit moment in the bully's face, like, oh, shit, we can't do this right now. But they never bothered me again because this guy had my back. And you know what? It's no secret. Shelly likes teasing me about this all the time. I'm 5'3", a little over, probably, I think the last I weighed was 235. You might kick my ass. Those guys could have kicked my ass. But you know what? I would have gotten some hits in, and I would have made them remember it. I would have made them pay for every hit they took on me. But I was lucky, and I had friends that really looked out for me, and we all looked out for each other. And I miss those days, and I hate and that kind of stuff, that bullying. I wish we wouldn't have had to do that kind of stuff. But it's gotten so. This was I graduated thank God I graduated when I did, because I graduated in 06, and then the very next year in 07 the iPhone came out. We had cell phones, but we didn't have smartphones when I was a kid. I'm so grateful that we didn't, because half the stuff that we got into, if it had been recorded, we would have gotten in so much trouble. I mean, this was before YouTube. MySpace was still in its infancy. I think MySpace came out a year or two later. The closest thing that I remember, me personally remember having to having social media was AOL Instant Messenger. And that caused issues too with people I knew. But we would go out, we would play, we would hang out, and we wouldn't just sit there in circles on our phone. I sound like an old man. Hey, are you kids? You getting your damn cell phones, bruh. You know, that kind of thing. We sat there, we talked, we goofed around, we horse played, we'd race each other, stuff that kids don't necessarily do nowadays. I remember some of the funnest times I ever had in school was hanging out outside our band room in high school. See, I was in one thing that I loved about it, I was in charge of what we called loading crew. This is how nerdy I am. And the only reason I did this was because being in charge of loading crew and being on loading crew meant that depending on how far the away game was, depending on how many classes. Oh yeah, we got away with a lot, but no, yeah, we got away with a lot. But depending on with loading crew, depending on how far the away game was, determined how many classes I got to miss. Like sometimes we'd be playing schools 2.5, 3 hours away. That meant all I had to do was go into my first period class for like 5 minutes and say, "Hey, I'm here. Got to go to the band room. Bye." And me and my friends, we'd get done with our. We were so good and fast at what we had to do, and we would get done with that and then hang out in the band room just all day, like until like fourth or fifth period, when everyone started coming in and would have to leave for the games. And my school was right beside our football stadium. And that meant like I could stay in the afternoons at school in the band room or outside with all my friends, because I also had friends that lived just, you could see their house from the classroom door, basically. That's that close. We would hang out, we'd have fun, we'd goof around. I remember one time I had just started learning how to skateboard my sophomore year, and I had saved my Christmas money and my birthday money, had about $200, went to the local skate park where they sold skateboards, and I got a nice skateboard. I wish it was stolen, but I wish I still had it. And it was nice, top of the line skateboard. My friend, who was an avid skateboarder for years, ever since he was little, was very impressed that I got such a good one. And I remember letting my friend ride it one afternoon after school in the parking lot while we were hanging out before an away game. It was an away game night, so we were hanging out. And I walk into the band room to get something out of my backpack, not even there 2 minutes. I come out and I see across the courtyard the assistant principal, walking away with it. And I chased him down. I said, Sir, that's my skateboard. That's not his. Please, let me have it back." He looked at me and he said, and he gave it back because he's like, "Babe, you better put this up. I better not see you riding it on school grounds again." I said, I wasn't doing it. That wasn't me. I won't let anyone ride it, or I won't ride it, and I won't let anyone else ride it on school grounds. So I was able to get it back. I was able to save it. But it's the times like that, sitting in the band room, just not even playing our instruments, but sitting there just talking with my friends, goofing around. We would play this game in class as well. You'd hit each other in the thigh and you'd pass it down the row, trying to be quiet. And we were low brass, so there was probably about 5 or 6 of us, and we just boom right in our thighs. And the teacher would see us cringe, but you couldn't make a sound without if you got caught, you lost the game. But I'd go home with like bruises on my thighs because we'd be playing it hour that we were in class. But one thing I remember. I remember on away games. Now my mom was in charge of our band uniform, so she would go on away games with us. But she was good enough to get on the opposite bus, so I still had my space. She did her thing, I did my thing with my friends. But there was this amazing barbecue place in town. It's closed in like '08 or '09. God, I miss it. I can still smell that barbecue, still taste it. You get barbecue sandwiches. They give you like 3 or 4 ribs, a piece of this nice, soft, freshly cut bread, and you could get like coleslaw or baked beans or other sides. But my mom worked at a school that she had to pass this place when she'd come home. On away game days, she'd get me a order of their rib sandwich, and that would be my lunch while everyone else was in the band room eating lunch, eating school lunches. I was, in the cafeteria, I mean, eating school lunches. I was in the band room sitting there eating ribs. Oh, they were so good. I remember one time, it's the same friend who helped me out with the bullies. He comes in one day and he comes in the band room one way game day and like starts sniffing around. Starts sniffing and says, "Am I going crazy or do I smell ribs?" And I'm sitting there in the corner with my back to him, trying to hide him. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's odd. I smell them too. Kind of weird. Someone must have brought ribs because I knew I'd have to fight them off, and sometimes I'd lose. But it was just one of those things that I look back and I'm like, thank God I grew up when I did. I had issues, too, with bullies and teachers who didn't know how to handle kids like me with my issues, that wanted to just write me off. Um, you know, I couldn't imagine when I dealt with bullies, but then the bell rang at 2:30, the bullying would stop. And nowadays, with the internet and social media, I think in regards to bullying, kids today have it rougher because it does not stop. I just read a story. I'm gonna bring it up. Let me try to find it. Sorry. Let me. This is a rough. Let me. But a lot of kids nowadays, they're. I was trying to find a story and I can't find it. A story of what I'm like. Kids nowadays, they're getting bullied because their parents have OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. T3. I was just trying to. I was reading something, and you know what? It's so much harder on them within this social media internet world we live in nowadays. I couldn't imagine living through that. I just couldn't. Um, I mean, I was bullied a lot in school as well. I couldn't wear yellow in elementary school because they would call me a school bus. There was these 3 boys, and I don't know why, but they would bully me. They bullied me about my weight, the way I looked, and it was funny. One of them, if you could picture Ed, Ed, and Eddie in real life, it was them. Now that I think about it, oh my god, that is the perfect way to describe them. One was a small little blonde-haired punk who had like a bowl cut. One was this skinny medium-sized kid, and the other was this big, dumb-looking, chubby kid. But they had the audacity to make fun of me for my weight. When I'm looking at you, I'm like, dude, do you not have mirrors at your house? Now, one of them, the little one, I don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. We hit middle school and I lost track of him. The big one, we got older. He lost weight. He was okay. The middle one, the medium one, we got to be good friends. We grew up and he apologized. I apologized. Okay, that's fine. Just be friends. We played in band together. Um, a lot of that is just stupid kid stuff. When I just see so much of that mentality, that bullying mentality in grown ass adults. I remember this Tim Allen movie. It's called Joe Somebody. I think it was called Joe Somebody. Let me look it up. I think it was Patrick what was his name? It was Tim Allen as this kind of average Joe, kind of measly little guy. Couldn't stand up for himself. And then you had Patrick Warburton, Joe Swanson from Family Guy, the chiseled, yay, manly man looking guy. It was his workplace bullying. Now, Tim Allen's character goes off and learns karate, and more importantly, he learns how to stand up to himself for himself. Stand up to himself. I'm not high or drunk, and I'm misspeaking. But nowadays, you can't stand up to bullies in school. If you stand up to bullies in school, you are punished as well. It's a zero tolerance policy that for some reason that whatever who created that? I'm still here, I'm just writing. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna share this. Let's talk about this. This is something that let's talk about zero tolerance. I hate zero tolerance policies in school. I think they embolden bad behavior. Let's see. I'll share the wiki. Let's see. See, I can try to. There's no concrete. See, look at this. There is no concrete evidence that zero tolerance policies reduce violence or drug abuse by students, then why do we still have the American Bar Association finds evidence that minority children, yeah. Mm, the label of zero tolerance began with the Gun Free Schools Act of 1994. And it was in response to Columbine. I remember that. I was only about 5 or 6. Let's jump to criticism. Let's see. Critics of zero tolerance policies in schools say that they are part of the school to prison pipeline that over policies children with behavioral problems, treating their problems as criminal justice issues rather than educational and behavior problems. Students that may have previously been given short school suspensions for the implication of policy were now sent to juvenile courts. Wow, so that they typically policies frequently refer to critics of the policies refer to cases with minor offenses having resulted in severe punishment. Oh wow. What? Typical examples include the honor roll student expelled from school under a no weapons policy while in the possession of nail clippers. I gotta see that. Oh man, that's stinks. I wanted to see that story. A related criticism of zero tolerance policies makes schools feel like a jail or prison. Furthermore, zero tolerance policies have been struck down by U.S. courts and by departments of education. Then why in the hell do these schools still do it? I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother lived in a cul-de-sac behind a school, and when we'd have family get-togethers like Thanksgiving or Christmas, we'd open our gifts, eat, open our gifts, and do all that. And then my cousin, who was about 8, he was about 8 years older than me, she'd walk me across to the school, and we'd play on the playground. It was mine and hers time together because we didn't see a lot of each other, age difference, getting on with our lives during the week or during the year. Oh, okay. I was worried for a sec. But now, if you so much as walk on a school campus, and I understand the reasons for this, I do. It seems like you will get arrested if you so much as if they don't want you there, you'll get arrested. And like I've seen schools with barbed wire fences 15 feet high. It's like this is not like me. I'm blurry. Uh, I don't. I'm clear on my screen. I don't know. Maybe it's your like stuff, Shelly. I don't know. Um, check your quality, I guess, on YouTube. I don't know. See, I even check my YouTube feed over on the YouTube side, and it still looks good to me. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Or maybe it's your eyes. Maybe you need glasses now, Shelly. But, I remember hearing stories about like kids eating a Pop Tart the wrong way. Can look like a gun and getting suspended. Oh, we have someone who probably knows more about this topic than me. The internet's favorite mouthy mama and regular pain in my ass, Shelly, talking trash and truths. What's up, Shelly?
Still not the worst introduction I've ever gotten. What does my mic sound like? Because everybody was bitching and moaning at me before.
Sounds good. Maybe it's a little loud, but that's about it.
Is it loud?
A little hot.
How about
maybe.
now?
Sound good.
Well, if I push it away and keep the gain up, then maybe. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, sounds perfect. Sounds perfect.
Okay. Wonderful. And then I don't have to keep it right in front of my goddamn face.
You don't have to be deep throating the mic.
I am not going to even answer that.
Yes, I finally got one on you. Yes.
The mic couldn't handle me. Okay.
Oh, please. So, yeah, God. I was just talking about everyone's favorite school policy.
Bullying?
Zero tolerance.
Well, the zero tolerance policy is bullshit because they tolerate it for some and not for others.
Exactly. To me, it creates lazy administrators. It's people who just want to sit there on their asses and just grab a paycheck. I've dealt with principals like that. I was cussed out by my high school principal for having the audacity to ask him why our band director was fired in the middle of summer band camp.
Well, I punched my principal in the face, so to each their own.
Yeah,
I had issues at the time.
At the time?
Oh, mean.
I don't know. I'm a little sassy tonight, I guess.
You are a little sassy. Today is not the day, and I am not the one.
No, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
No, just out of the blue. Out of the blue, a certain mass superhero tweeted me on Twitter or X, and started bullshit with me.
Why did he name it that? For shits and giggles, so that you could say, "Hey, so and so is on X now."
I do not.
Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about.
No, even though
he's on MDMA. Are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck?
I only worked with autistic kids a month now, Shelly. I cannot tell you what that autistic man is thinking.
You can't? I can tell you what he's thinking most of the time. Suzanne, I told the bullies to call I told the principal, also bullies, to call the bullies' parents so I could bully them. He wouldn't do it. I was waiting till the soccer game. Nice.
Oh, there was one time I was dating this girl my sophomore year, and one of her classmates, she had a thing for her. Would not leave her alone. Would always, if they were in class together, he had to sit in front of her, and he would turn around and just mess with her. And she kept telling him, "Leave me alone. I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you." So one day, I would always meet her outside her classrooms and walk her to like her next class. I was late so much when I was dating her because I would be walking her to her classes, or I'd walk her to her bus. I was a gentleman. I was a little Southern gentleman. But
is it? Sorry, go ahead.
She came to me like crying because he just would not stop messing with her. So, and this guy was like half my size, which, believe it or not, there are people who are half my size. I'm so short, according to you. I grabbed the neck of his collar.
Such a bone of contention, Outpost.
I grabbed the kid by his collar and pinned him up against one of the posts and lift him up. I said, "You will not mess with her again. Do you understand me?" And I just dropped him onto the ground. The next day, he comes to class. This idiot comes to class with a metal pipe in his backpack, opens it and shows it to her in class. Says, "This is for your boyfriend if he doesn't stop messing with me." She went to the school and called, and she went to the principal. They called her dad and said, her dad said, "Get him down here now. I'm gonna whip his ass." He said, "If you don't get him out of her classes, I will go find him and whip his ass."
Good.
But then, like a year or two later, I transferred to one of the other high schools, and he tries to be all buddy with me.
Of course he did. Low man on the totem pole.
Oh yeah, and I had gotten to be good friends with a girl who was an ROTC officer, who happened to be his commanding officer. I told her, I said, "If you do not keep him away from me, I'm going to beat his ass to a pulp. Do you understand me?"
And what did he say to that?
He didn't say a word because he never spoke to me again. Knew better. He knew better.
I tell you, I jumped in front of my bully in the supermarket. I was like heavily pregnant, and I jumped in front of her. I was like, "Hi!" And she, and I was like, "Hi, okay, bye." And like I was skipping off, and she was like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because I was just like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" And she didn't know what to do. She was scared because she saw me. I've learned how to beat people up since then. But she was never the one that had me beat up. She had girls beat me up because she couldn't fight.
Oh, Lord,
so then I learned to fight. And it was like, okay, now I learned to fight. Run your mouth. Go ahead. Run your mouth. She never said another fucking word. But I love when I see her. I'm like, "Hi, bro." I love doing that. She's just like, she don't know which direction to go, whether she should say hi. Yeah. She gets all confused and panicked. It's funny.
See, I was talking about earlier in the show, in elementary school, I had 3 bullies that were like, they were all like Ed, and Eddie, if in real life, if you could believe it. Now that, like I said.
Oh, believe me, I know. I've had them all.
They would pick on me. I couldn't wear, like I said earlier, I couldn't wear yellow because they call me a school bus in class. Thank you for giggling.
Sorry.
At my heartache, Kelly. Really,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But
the big one was bigger than me, fatter than me.
Oh, that's always the way. Oh, that's always the way.
The little ringleader. I have no idea what happened to him, but the middle one, we became good friends in like high school.
Like, yeah, because you grow out of that fucking phase. Well, some people do. Some people don't.
He actually came over to me and apologized. I said, "Dude, whatever, water under the bridge." Because we were in the band in middle school and high school together. And we used to have this thing every year. I think it was during homecoming. We had our bit. Well, I think they stopped it when I became an by the time I was an upperclassman, because the band director, the middle school and the high school band director, got a nasty divorce. But they'd bring the 8th graders to sit up in the band in the seats with us during the football game and play with us. This the little shit who said he was gonna beat me with the pipe, takes this kid. It's the same kid who bullied me. Takes his mouthpiece out of his trumpet and throws it down the bleachers. For what reason? I don't know. No one liked this kid. No one wanted this kid around. Not because we tried to be nice to him, but the way he would return it, give back to us, which there was no reason for him to fucking throw a mouthpiece like that, and especially when they cost $50, $60 to replace.
Of course not.
Band was not a cheap hobby. But I hate bullies to this day still. And like some of my kids, they bully each other, and I have to almost. I'm having flashbacks to when I was in middle school. Like, oh my god!
Yeah, but a
But they
lot
have.
of them.
Go
Remember,
ahead.
bullying is different than teasing. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, at the age that you have them, there's a lot of teasing, and eventually they either become really, really close friends and get along, or it turns into like a bully situation.
Yeah.
You just got to watch for the escalation.
Yeah. And that's what I'm always. What is her avatar? So check out my. It's so small I can't see it. I can't read that. Can you?
No.
It says,
What's your avatar?
was it say Suzanne? It says fuck something or another. Can't read.
Of course
But,
it does.
but
I got a gift membership. How do you get gift memberships from people you're not subscribed to? I don't understand YouTube.
I don't know. I
I haven't been subscribed there in months.
Oh, I think I might have an idea who.
Yeah. And I got an email. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, that's the second one. Harlem beat his bully's ass, then they became buddies. Of course.
See, I had friends like that. And like in elementary school, I met this kid named Brandon who at first he and I did not get along. We hated each other. This was like in first or second grade. We really didn't understand what hated me.
You wouldn't let me use the red crayon. I hate you. I hope your parents die. Yeah.
But then, like, after a while, he became one of my best friends. Like from elementary school on to when we hit middle school and went our separate ways. There was like a group of four of us, me, my friend Brandon, Shane, and Jake. It was all of us were always together. Our school was right next to the Boys and Girls Club that we would go to in the afternoons, and we spent all afternoon. We'd go. It was Shane's birthday party where I broke my arm. Believe it or not, his mom was like, I tried to grab a hold of the monkey bars, Shelly, and I missed, and I landed sitting down, and the way my arm hit my hands, I landed with my palms down on the ground.
No, that's okay.
Well, it just fractured my wrist. It just fractured my wrist. It wasn't, but I screamed.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the gazebo where they were having his birthday party, maybe 200 yards away, and his mom just came running when she heard me screaming. She was a nurse, so she made a sling out of a towel. She's like, "Do you want to go home now? Do you need to go home?" No, I'm like,
she's like, "Please go home and don't sue us."
No. No. This was back in the time you didn't sue people for just willy nilly like that. And she took care of me because, like I said, she was a registered nurse.
Good times.
And I'm like, I'm through tears, like, no, I don't want to go home. I want cake. And I just remember she drove me. She was going to take me home anyway, but she explained to my mom what happened, and I went and got a cast.
You wanted cake? I mean, come on, nerd.
Yeah, I had my priorities straight. If she wasn't a nurse,
sugar lover.
If she wasn't a nurse, I probably would have felt differently.
Yeah, probably. You probably would have wanted your mother and the cake.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just give me the cake, damn it.
I remember.
She said, "Okay." I changed the picture. Oh God.
But it's like a few weeks ago, my dad goes to this transmission place, and it just happened to be my friend Brandon's dad. He's passed away years ago, but my friend Brandon took over his dad's business. Mm-hmm. My dad looks at him, and he looks at my dad, and is like, "We know each other, don't we?" And I hadn't seen the boy. The boy hadn't seen my family in probably 25 years since elementary school. And it's like that. Boy. Well, we were boys. Yeah, I've boy that I used to run around and play with. I remember.
Yeah, no, you ain't a little boy no more.
No, he's got like 6 kids.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh no, the last
Jesus,
time I
is it in
saw
the
him,
water down
no, I knew Shelly.
there? Do you not
This.
get cable?
No, listen to this.
The
There was a
fuck?
family. There was a couple at my church who had 13.
13 children. Mm-mm.
Would have been more.
Nope.
Would have been closer to 15, but she lost 2 over the years. And someone asked her. I was told someone asked her why so many kids. She just said, "I love being pregnant." She like, I would not change my big family for nothing. And someone, I remember one time I'm sitting in the church hallway and I'm standing there talking to my buddy, and they walk by all in the line, like passing us like 10 minutes. And my one of my friends like, God, he needs a hobby. I look at him, says, he does have a hobby, and it's her. But I forgot where I was going with this. So it's but I remember
So
the
did
last
I.
time
We were talking about bullies. I don't know how the hell we got on that.
with us, Shelly, this is just a stream of conscious show. I've said from the beginning. This is just no. We were talking about how
it.
Consciousness.
Consciousness. There you go. I don't know what the hell you said before.
But we were talking about how like
that's what I heard.
Suzanne mentioned this, and it reminded me of my friend Brandon. I remember I was working at a grocery store, probably 2011, 2012, and he comes in with like 5 of his kids, and we get to talking as I'm checking them out. And one of the little girls like, my daddy? I said, honey, I've known your daddy since he was your size.
You're like, I know your daddy.
I remember when a few months after I fractured my wrist, I was spending the night at his house, and they had a creek right by their house, and his mom was like, no, don't get that wet. You understand me? You're not supposed to get these wet. And I remember I'm like maybe shin deep in the water.
Said, jump in, arm first.
I'm shin deep in the water, and I just remember sliding in and just going completely under, and I start freaking out, and my friend pulls me out, and I wrap a towel around it, and I walk around their house, and she looks at me and is like, really? I told you not to get it wet. But I remember the scariest thing about getting cats was getting them off with that giant buzzsaw.
The saw. It's a round saw. It doesn't go deep. It's purely surface level.
Well, they have it nowadays. They have saws nowadays. Like if they do something like if they cut into you, they stop automatically. So like
that's nice to know, but the damage is already fucking done.
And from what I understand, like the saws that doctors actually use for like cut cats and stuff, they vibrate in a way that they don't really actually puncture the skin.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm not gonna take that chance.
Back in the day, they didn't do that. It was a small little like round saw, and I mean small, like it was only like an inch diameter. Suzanne said, I knew a family with 13 kids. Mom and dad were killed in a car accident. The kids were divided between his twin brother and his twin sister. Oh, I don't want to hear nothing about twin brothers. God. I'm just kidding, Suzanne. But I really don't want to hear any more about twin brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have an aversion to twins, and I am a twin. So it's like, oh, okay.
What?
I'm a twin.
There's another one of you?
No, my sister died. I told you I was born not breathing. I was blue.
Oh.
The nurse that was there saved me. I was in an incubator for 7 days with the tube up my nose going into my stomach to feed me because I was only 4 pounds. And my mother was like 9.5 months pregnant when she had me. She was 2 weeks overdue. But my twin was huge. But she was not normally formed.
No.
But no, we were identical. So I was in there with a dead fetus for like 4 months.
So your personality
is so big. My nourishment.
Your personality is so big because you're covering for 2 people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was quiet and I was very reserved and I never cursed up until my memories came back and
Mm,
I unalived myself for a while.
mm,
And when I came back fighting. I fought everybody. I was mad when I came back. I don't know what happened, but I told everybody go fuck themselves. I would fucking make people cry just to make them cry. If you looked at me crooked, I punched you in the face. And it wasn't until like years later I saw a clairvoyant. Um, this guy actually stopped me. He knew nothing about me. He didn't want to know my name. He didn't want to know anything. And he was like, "There's somebody very aggressive that looks just like you trying to fight me." And I was like, "Oh, what?" And he was like, he said, "There's somebody who looks just like you, same face, younger, who's trying to fight me. Like she's coming forward, trying to start a confrontation with me, telling me to stay away from you." And I was like, "Oh." He said, "Were you by any chance a twin?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "We're an identical twin." And I was like, "Mm-hmm." And he was like, "Well," he said, "something happened that made you cross over when you were a teenager and she crossed back with you because you weren't strong enough to protect yourself." He was like, "In case you're wondering, she's the mean one." I was like, "Great. That's great. I'm fucking crazy now." I was like, "Why not? Now I have multiple personality, whatever." But I told, that was one of the first things I told my shrink. And she was like, "You don't have multiple personality." She said,
mm.
often with twins that lose a twin, they have this phantom presence and they do take on the characteristics that the other person might have had.
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, so she's a fighter and I'm not." She was like, "No, you're not a fighter." I was like, "No, I'm really not." But we're one person. We don't switch back and forth. But I could tell you, I could turn me off and let her take the reins because that, like, I can control that fighting urge and the rage and everything else until you really push me. And then it's everybody that knows me says she's like a completely different person because I go nuts. And it's crazy. But yeah, no, I was a twin.
You're a triplet, Suzanne? I had
We're all gifted. Why do you think Suzanne and I have
mm,
um a toehold on the other world? I'll put it that way.
yeah.
I mean, there's a reason that I freaking hear voices,
I
see ghosts. What?
I've never had the paranormal experience personally,
A lot of people
but
have it.
I've known family that has. My
If
grandmother,
you're afraid of them,
the night
it
after
won't happen for you. You'll block it out.
I don't know if I'm afraid. I don't know.
Well, you're not going to welcome
My
it.
grandmother said the night after my grandfather's funeral, she goes to bed and she swears this wasn't a dream, that she was awake
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because she got up. She says afterwards, but she says my grandfather walked into the bedroom, still in his suit that he was buried in,
Mm-hmm.
sits down on the end of the bed, and she said she felt the bed move and everything, like someone was sitting there, and he looked at her, says, "I'm okay. I'll see you later." Gets up and walks out of the room.
Aw.
My grandfather was not always a Christian man. He
You
was
don't have
born.
to be.
He was no. Well, he was raised. Well, this just the thing is, he was raised Catholic, and when he married my grandmother, who was a Baptist, his sister says, "You're going to hell for this woman."
Oh, God.
So it really turned him off for a long time of religion. But
Mm-hmm.
when my mom and aunt were probably in their adolescence, he started going to church with them. Like before then, he'd watch them go from the door going to church, and he'd just stand there and cry because he knew he
Mhm.
needed to go. He knew he needed to be there for his family. And when he started going, he was full in.
Yep.
He became a deacon, was on the deacon board, volunteering. The doors were open. The Miller family was there.
Mm-hmm.
And there were people when I was growing up that would like I joined the choir when I was in middle school for a while at the church that my family had been going since the 60s too. And one of the older gentlemen, after me being up there in the choir one day, we're leaving, he comes up to me and says, "It was like seeing your grandfather back up there."
Aw.
Because my grandmother always said that from the nose down, my brother looked like him. But from the nose up, including when I had hair, God, that I am old as shit. She said it was just like looking at him.
DJ Night Blue. I know who you are.
Got a new person?
You do. You do.
Oh, DJ, what's up?
DJ.
Thanks for coming. Glad you're here.
Uh-huh. That's sad. You said you all have the most interesting live stream right now.
And we're just shooting the shit.
That's a sad, sad commentary on the
Yeah.
rest of fucking YouTube. Suzanne
Wow.
wrote to you that she was, that she was a triplet, and it says identical
Wow.
triplets separated at birth. Ain't that a bitch? She's never met her other two sisters.
That is crazy. I've never met that side, the aunt's family, the great aunt's family that told my grandfather he was going to hell. I never met any member of that side of the family. It seems like that's a common thing. Like when people their spirits are saying goodbye, that they come.
My daughter told me that my grandmother used to visit her every night for like the first year that we moved here. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. She said she visited me a little bit in Kansas, but she didn't like it there. I said, yeah, I know. No, I knew she didn't like it there because I had a dream where she said, Michelle, you got to get out of here. You got to get away from him. Go home. Just go home. And I was like, but I can't go home. I'm still married to him. She was divorce him. It's okay. Like, divorce him. I was like, but Katie, and she was like, go home. And I was like, I'll think about it. And then he stabbed me with the sword. I got my gallbladder taken out and
Stabbed you with a sword? Jesus
filed for
Christ.
divorce. Yeah,
there can only be one.
No, he was a man child. He liked his katanas, he liked his broadswords, and he had this skinny little, I think he calls it a goddess sword, because I made fun of him. I was like, that's a fucking girl's sword. It's like a dagger. But it was about, the blade was about 2.5 feet long. Right. So no, I'm lying. Maybe a 1.5 feet. My measurement is off. I haven't had to measure in a while.
It wasn't from Zelda?
No, it was, I don't know. I never got a good look at it. He had just gotten it. So he's like, doing these little like parries and whatever, I guess. I didn't know that he was doing that. I was coming down the hallway from the bedroom. He was in the living room doing the parries at the fucking wall, apparently. And I didn't see him doing it because he wasn't in my line of sight. I was doing something and I made the turn and he came around and he caught me right inside and he stopped as soon as he felt like resistance, but it was too late. And I had about 1.5 inches of blade in my side. And I was like, I didn't scream, nothing. I was like, take it out. Just take it the fuck out. I don't know what it is. Take it out. And he was like, I can't. And I'm like, so now I'm cutting my hand because I'm trying to hold this fucking thing up while I'm trying to like pull it out. And he's frozen in place. So he's like fighting me without even knowing it. And I'm like, would you step back? I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I stepped off of it, basically. I stepped to the side. I was like, I didn't even stab myself. And I got to unstab myself. So I was like, all right.
Okay, so it wasn't an anger. It was just an accident.
No, it was an accident, but he was retarded for doing that when we had a kid in the house.
See, I have, you say it's man child. I have like swords and knives and daggers stuff, but I collected those when I was like in my early 20s, late teens. I
Yeah,
hadn't
but
bought.
I had to go to the hospital 2
Yeah,
days later because I had such horrible gallbladder pains and I didn't know what it was.
he
Apparently, he
pierced your
shocked my
gallbladder.
system. Yeah, he shocked my system and my gallbladder, which had been really bad apparently, and I never knew it, decided to say, "No, I'm done." Like, and I was just in pain. So they took me from my job to the hospital, and I tried to leave because I was like, "I'm not going to explain to these people." And I was like, I see her coming, and she was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "You came inside." She was like, "Yep, go right over there to intake, right over there." I was like, "Son of a bitch." So I go over, and the lady's like, "What's the problem?" I said, "I have a pain like right here." I said, "It won't go away." I said, "It's really bad." I said, "I've taken Tylenol, I've taken everything, nothing helps." I said, "It's stabbing, constant stabbing." And the girl, Peggy, that was with me, that took me from work, she said, "Tell her what happened." Because I had already told them a fucking different story. Because I wasn't
Mhm.
gonna, no, I wasn't gonna tell them my husband fucking stabbed me because they knew he was a drinker. They knew he was drunk every fucking night. They knew he was drunk every day because he'd call my job screaming at me.
Oh,
Um, and so I wasn't gonna tell them that. So I told them I was chopping vegetables and I was barefooted. And when I went to go move, the knife was gonna fall off the counter into my foot. So I put my arm on it and tried to push it back on the counter, but I pushed it too hard and it slid into me just a little, but I'm fine. I mean, I didn't even bleed. So it was like, whatever.
mhm.
Well, it bled a little, but not a lot. I mean, it was like 2, 3 drops of blood, then it closed up. But you could like move it around and you could see like the under layers and everything. He was like, "Would you stop doing that?" I was like, "But it's cool. Look at it." He was like, "Only you would think it's fucking cool." I was like, he was white as could be because he thought he was like killing me. I was like, "Dude, it takes a lot more than that to kill me." I was like, the best have tried.
Wor-
I
the
tried. That didn't work. But
the wor- Go ahead. Sorry.
the cops came to the hospital. Like they
Mhm.
had the cops that worked there, and the nurse, as soon as I told her the story, she called them. And
Of
I had
course.
told them the chopping story, not the real story. Those cops grilled me. I had to literally like walk through what I was describing to them. And they're like, "You're sure?" I said, "Listen, at this point, if I was gonna say somebody else did it, don't you think I would have?" They were like, "But you're okay." I'm fine. I'm just in a lot of pain. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go get examined. And that's when they found out that, the gallbladder, I had 22 gallstones fused together and
Mm.
my liver and pancreas were shutting down. And I was like, "All right, I'll come
Girl,
back in a
you
couple days."
hospital.
Nope.
You wait until shit gets real before going to the hospital to
I
talk.
did not know I had freaking gallstones. Nobody in my family ever had freaking gallstones. But
Mm.
being that I overdosed on Motrin, which is kind of hard to do. But if you take the
Mhm.
thousands of milligrams, and I mean thousands and thousands and thousands, then you do the job. And it fucked up my gallbladder, which is better than fucking up my liver
Yeah.
or my
Well,
kidneys.
a few years ago, I remember it was Christmas Eve. My mom's a pretty tough lady. She just starts. She's getting paler and paler as the hours go by, and starts sweating cold sweats. And she looks at my dad and says, "Take me to the hospital." Christmas
So,
Eve. Her
mhm.
gallbladder. She had to get her gallbladder out Christmas Day.
Yep, there is no other pain like that.
Mhm.
I can tell you that. It'll bend you over and you ain't getting back up.
The worst. Well,
I was punching myself in the stomach because that's the only relief from the pain that I got,
mhm. the
was to
two
introduce a different pain.
the two worst experience I've had with like getting cut or anything or
Mm.
bleeding. I remember I might have shared the story with you before, but I'll share it again. It's my show. I'll do what I want.
It's my channel.
Where have we heard that before, Shelly?
Shush. You be quiet. Before you start that and before DJ decides to
Kidding.
run off, Matt.
No,
No, look, he said his new album is out on 9/11. Good luck with that. I'm sure it's going to be great. Make sure you drop us a link so
paying
we can,
attention to the
go
chat.
look for it
Damn.
or whatever. I don't know how to do anything anymore unless you send me a link.
No, but
I'm that bad. But good
See,
luck. Oh, so happy for you.
back in
All right, sorry. All right,
this-
it's your channel. Sorry, jeez.
another thing like we used to do with our kids,
Anyway, for this,
go out and outside barefoot and run around and play. So me and my friends, we had a park like 3 or 4 blocks away from us, big park, big playground equipment, slides, monkey bars, a huge tower on one side that had a wavy slide, but it had chopped up tires on the below under it, for be soft. So me and my friends, we'd take our shoes and socks off, so it wouldn't get on in our shoes and bothers. You had to stop. God forbid we had to stop playing for 10 seconds to get something out of our shoe. I'm running up the stairs to the tower, and the metal plate that held the tower to the stairs was broken. And cut right under my big toe, and the 2 toes behind it just sliced open my foot.
Wow, no.
And luckily it was a weekday, and the girls' club was right there by the park. The back doors to the girls' club opened to the park like 50 feet away from where we were. So
Did they had see you bawling your eyes out.
The kids. Well, they had the girls out there with the adults who worked at the club watching them, and they saw me, and they were able to get me into the girls' club, clean and dress the wound. But I was walking on the side of my foot for like a month because I had to get about 5 stitches. So they call my mom, tell her what happened, tell her he's okay, we've got it clean, but he needs stitches. Because it's like, how you have that ball, the ball on your foot, on this, like right under your first 3 toes. I cut it right on the side of that, right there where my toes meet.
That is terrible.
I can feel the scar. I'm touching it right now and still feel the scar.
Well, I don't want to know you're touching your feet. Ew, there's a kink for that. I don't have it.
But I remember going to the clinic.
Hip huggers. She's funny. I haven't heard that in a minute.
But I remember going to the clinic, and they were talking about what size needle they had to use to numb my foot.
No, there's nothing worse than getting a needle in your foot. I'm sorry, except maybe in your face.
And I got to do that next. I got to do that next Friday because I'm going to the dentist for my teeth.
Oh, okay, but they have a numbing gel that they could put on there first, so you don't feel the needle going into your thing. Ask for it. I get it every time. They say, "Oh, it's for kids." Fuck you. I'm a big kid. Give me the goddamn numbing solution because you never get me on the first goddamn needle. Never. But, you're like, why do you? Because apparently, what they're supposed to put the needle into rolls back and forth. Because I've had my jaw like punched so many times, shit's just not attached anymore. But
I just had a screw taken out of my foot. Other half
so it's like.
Oh my god, that sucks.
It takes between 4 and 8 shots to numb me enough to do my teeth.
God, no. Well, this is one of those kind of pay what you can clinics.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they break it apart between they stretch it out for I have to go 4 times to get all my teeth cleaned.
Mm-hmm. It's they're shysters, I swear to God.
Well, back to my story. But so I get all that, and my mom calls the city the next day and tells them what happens and threatens if you don't pay for his medical bills, I'm going to sue your ass. And they paid every penny.
Good. But
then there was one time. This was the summer. I've shared this before. I know. Summer of my sophomore year. I've just had my first morning of a summer band camp. I'm at home relaxing the rest of the evening. Me and my brother home alone. Recipe for disaster. Disaster strikes. I don't know what started the fight, but we started swinging, Shelly. We were full on punching each other in the face, kicking each other.
Oh, I thought you were talking about upside down pineapples.
Shut up. But he gets me in a corner right beside the front door in the wall where my dad kept his golf clubs. So I grab I grab one of the golf clubs and swing it at my brother to try to get him away from me because he's bigger than me. You know, he's 4 years older than me. He grabs it, grabs the golf club and just whop right on top of my head, busts my head open. I remember falling down to the corner, thinking, "What the hell just happened?" Hasn't registered with me what happened yet until I see the blood dripping down over my face.
Ew.
And I remember hearing him dropping the golf club. I hear the thud of the golf club, and I hear him say, well, not,
He's probably thinking his mother's gonna kill me.
No, he says, "Oh my God, what did I just do?" Because I think he was high, because he's had issues with drugs over the years. I think he was high, and the realization of what he just did snapped him out of it. And then my grandmother opens the door and sees me there bleeding. All this happens within 10 seconds. And she what does DJ say? I'm just reading the chat. Sorry. Feels better not having the thing poking out. Oh, yeah.
Did you see he had a screw taken out?
Yeah. Oh, I have a story for that from my friend Jay, who.
Yeah, no, I don't. You know those metal pieces that go through the watch arm to hold it into the base? Yeah, well, apparently there was one on my floor and I didn't know it. Ooh. And I went walking and it went in the side of my big toe, through the bone, and all the way to the other side and stayed there. And I fucking screamed. I screamed. Not as much as I screamed when the intern started cutting into my foot to take it out, because I had to go to emergency because it was metal and I needed a tetanus shot and I needed like all this shit. And then she cut through a vein and there was blood just gushing up, and I'm screaming. And I'm just screaming for somebody to kill me because I've never felt like pain like that before. And she just kept whacking away. And I finally fucking kicked her with my other foot. I was like, get the fuck away from me.
When I
running over, I had to get surgery that night. They had to call in a podiatrist, podiatrist surgeon of podiatry, whatever.
Yeah.
A foot surgeon to come in because she fucked up the veins and like everything. I wound up with 8 stitches on my toe. Tell me why? 8 stitches on the fat part of the bottom of your toe? Yeah, I had a real great summer. Great summer.
I had 5 on my foot when I cut it open, and like it didn't hurt that much. It was like when they got my foot numb, it wasn't so bad when they were getting the stitches. It's when they were fucking taking them out. I was screaming.
Taking them out didn't bother me. I did that myself.
No, it felt like they were cutting off my toes.
Nah, I did that myself.
My mom literally had to like pin me to the chair to keep me from like thrashing about.
You know, they used to pin me to the chair or to the table to take out my loose teeth because it would hurt so fucking much, because they would grab it and then twist it and pull. And I was like, you know what? I am going to figure out how to take teeth out without hurting a kid. And at school, that's what I did. The mothers would send their kids to me with the note, can you please take such and such's loose tooth out? And I just pop, done. And I'd be like, oh, no, I'm not going to take it out. I'd take my hand away and be like, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Oh, where's my tooth? It's right here. Oh, I didn't feel that at all. No, I know.
Speaking of teeth, it's kind of funny. I was always told ever since I was little, I don't have wisdom teeth. None of them were up there to grow. Then this past summer, for the first time in a long time, I'm able to go to the dentist and they take x-rays. Turns out I do have one wisdom tooth. No.
It's in my one.
No, it's in my cheekbone.
It's your cheekbone. So it's just really up high.
Yeah, they said there's no way. There's no way. And I was like, my little morbid stuff like that is so freaking cool.
It is cool. You got a tooth in your cheekbone.
Well, what are the 2 teeth right beside the front teeth? What are those? The incisors or canines? I can never remember.
Fuck if
I
I
don't
know.
have. I don't have them. I had the
I
baby
avoid
teeth.
the dentist at all costs.
I had the. Well, my mom would take us right before school every year growing up. We were on
Yeah.
first name basis with our dentist. We went that often.
In order to work on my son's teeth, they had to knock him out in a hospital.
Mm.
Yeah. That's how that went. Yet Katie sat for 4 root canals in a row with no problem. By the third one, she was getting kind of like, I said, do you want an iPod Nano? This is how long ago it was. She was like, yes. I said, if you let him do the other 2, I'll get you an iPod Nano.
You know what? That's not.
She was like, go ahead. I'm good. Like,
stop it. Do you know what I got for my graduation gift?
I had already bought it, though. I was going to give it to her just for going to the dentist.
I got
it. If I could get 2 more root canals out of it, hey.
You said it. You say it was so long ago, but I got that as a graduation present when I graduated from high school. Don't make me feel old, Shelly.
How long ago was it that you graduated high school? 20 years?
2006.
18 years?
Almost 20 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The class of 2026 started last year as freshmen. And someone...
AI, have you tried rubbing dirt in it?
No, but let me tell you...
What about Robitussin? Just put some Robitussin.
DJ reminded me of a story. I was in middle school in my English class, and the English teacher, I was good friends with her. Her son was in my grade, and her oldest was in my grade, and her youngest was a grade below me, and we were in band together. Her husband was the assistant principal at one of the middle schools, and my aunt was his secretary. So my family knew him. Our families were close, good friends. Mm-hmm. I remember sitting in there. I was sitting in their 6th period. Her son Jay was out in PE running the track, and some kid runs into the classroom. Jay's dead, and runs out. Turned out when they were running, they were goofing around, and one of the kids pushed him, and he ran, and his shin hit dead on the bench, and just broke in 2 places. And he had to get bolts in his legs. But get this. You know what he grew up to do? He's a veteran. You know what he did? He was an Army paratrooper, even with his leg like that. But you can't take me after I have 3 knee surgeries, you motherfuckers.
Wow.
Well, of course, I was trying to get in like 2009, 2010 when Obama was kind of drawing down the troops. People were getting paid to leave the military.
They were still doing don't ask, don't tell, weren't they?
I think so. Shut up.
They should have kept not telling.
About to say, I thought you were going to make a joke about me for a second. No, but Shelly,
no.
I want to.
I didn't even mean that.
Yeah, I know how your brain works, Shelly. I know you.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
I wanted to enlist so bad.
That was funny.
I went to 2 doctors to try to get a medical write-off.
Shut the hell up. Oh, see, they wouldn't have taken you anyway. See, they knew it's not your knee; it's your kneeling. Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey! Don't eat that from you, Stella. Man, I had fallen from the rope. Oh my god! That kick button, that mute button. I remember someone doing that to me.
I have a leave studio button. I could do that too.
Oh, you love me. You love me.
See, right away he freaking backpedals.
Shut up! Shut up!
You're so my bitch.
Shut up. No, but when the second doctor who I knew from church told me that there's no way I can write you off medically for military service, I just broke down, Shelly. In that moment, all my plans for my entire life just poof.
Gone. Bro, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to learn this, nerd.
Well, I
feel like your life has been one disappointment after another because you just think of one thing. You got to have a backup plan and a backup plan to that one and a backup plan to that one. You're
I just
not
wanted to
going
eat.
to, I know you wanted to be of service, and a GI Bill don't hurt. Let's
No,
face it.
no.
But
That's how my dad got his pilot's license. He was able to pay with the GI Bill back in the 80s.
my cousin Jessica, she joined the Navy the day after she graduated high school. And I mean, she's this blonde, willowy, like very like feminine thing. And she joined the Navy. I was like, is she crazy? But nope, she went and she became the head of their squadron for the Yellow Jackets. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if they're called the Yellow Jackets or it's the Yellow Jacket Squadron. I don't know. But she flew planes. And then they sent her to Afghanistan for 3 years. So that was fun. But she came back and she went to nursing school.
VAQ 138 Electronic Attack Squadron 138. It's also known as the Yellow Jackets.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
I know she was out in like Washington State or some bullshit or Oregon.
Naval Air Station, Wembley Island, Washington.
There you go. I knew she was up in that corner.
I just Googled Yellow Jackets Air Force. That is cool.
I was kind of pregnant at the time, so I didn't give a shit. But no, she got out and they gave her the GI Bill and she went to nursing school and now she's got a really good job in pediatric nursing.
Well,
so, and she lives in Virginia. Don't tell Winning. I don't want him to think I like Virginia in any way, shape, or form, but she loves it there.
Wrong branch.
Full of semen or semen? Well, if she takes after me, both.
I wanted to join the Air Force.
One leads to another. But
I wanted to join the Air Force,
The Air
Michelle,
Force?
you want to answer this?
Nobody joins the Air Force.
You want to
What's
answer
long,
this?
black, and full of semen? I forget her name. Oh, that wasn't appropriate. Sorry.
But no, I wanted to join the Air Force. I had family. I had cousins that joined and really enjoyed it. Really got a lot out of it.
I'm waiting for the answer. Oh, U.S. Navy submarine. Yeah, well, I figured that was the answer, but I wanted you to say it.
And I had friends that had joined and were telling me good things about it that I saw as a chance, to learn. One, to learn new things, and two, to get out of this fucking tourist trap of a town I live in.
I can't wait to move. I can't wait. My mother is like, spring, spring, spring. I'm like, we fucking better. Like the first time I hear tweet, 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 I'm out the door I want to be. Let's go. Let's go. Listen, I could pack up an entire freaking house in 2 days. Yeah. That's how long it took my mother to get to me in Kansas. And she was like, you have everything packed? I have everything packed. I already sent all his shit to his parents' house. They came and picked it up. He was quite surprised because I didn't tell him I was going home.
Well, that psycho next across the river from you of a mayor wants to send all those immigrants, refugees, as they call, across the river to you.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Hate to tell them they're already here. I don't have one bench downstairs that I can sit on because we have 10 benches. There's 6 of them in a circle, and then there's 4 that are on the raised part of the courtyard. I can't sit on any of them, and I won't let my kids sit on any of them because all day and all night there's homeless people on. At least they're what I assume are homeless people since they live there, but they don't have bags like the homeless. They don't have tons of like supplies like the homeless. So I'm feeling like these are people who just got here and have no place to sleep. Because the homeless around here, they have luggage, they have carts, they have all their shit with them. And they will fuck a bitch up if you touch it.
Yeah.
Hell, we have a lady that has a duffel bag with a cat in it.
Oh.
The cat goes everywhere with her.
We're not getting into the politics stuff of it. Stella.
Who let
Yeah.
them there? Well, they all got off a bus in New York, and it's real easy to get to Hoboken. You could take the
Yeah.
ferry, you could take the subway, you could take a bus, you could walk across a bridge. Shit, if they were willing to
Say,
go back like to swim where they were, they'll swim the Hudson. Shit.
let's say it's just what? How far are you from Manhattan? What, a half a mile?
No, I'm about 3/4 of a mile.
Oh, yeah.
My house to World Trade Center is 3/4 of a mile.
See, I want to go back up there, but I don't want to get mugged.
Why would
I
you
went.
get mugged? You're a grown ass man.
I'm a short, tiny little grown ass man.
But you're hefty, so you look like, you'd put up a fight.
Maybe. Like I said earlier, you
If
might
you
kick
don't look
my ass.
all squirrely, nobody's going to bother with you.
Like if you, like I said earlier, you can
If you
kick
look
my ass.
nervous, I'll mug you.
Like I said, if you kick my ass, I will make you pay for every shot you take at me.
Nope. The cops know me, not you.
No, I remember one time there was this guy.
Just try that in a small town.
He was
This is
he
a
was just
small town.
bullying me nonstop, and he was probably about maybe a foot taller than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got fed up, turned around, stuck my finger in his chest.
Hey,
I said, "You know
T-Rex.
what?" I said, "You know what? You might kick my ass. You might beat me to a pulp. But you know what? Before you're done, I will get some punches in and I will make you remember them. Do you understand me?" And the next thing I know, the teacher's tackling me because he thinks we're about to fight. I'm like, "Why tackle me, you asshole?"
Because landing on you would be softer.
Well, I was easier to take down than the other kid, I guess.
That too. I wasn't going to say that you were the weaker of the two, and that's what he went for.
Well, you know what?
I went for the fact you just had a little more cushion for the pushing.
I was not fat yet. It wasn't until high school and they started eating Pizza Hut every day at lunch and Chick-fil-A that I started gaining my weight.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they would bring in, like, the school would order, like, pizzas. They'd get, like, a dozen pizzas and sell them during lunch periods.
See, it didn't matter what we ate because we had to go out for our lunch. And there were no restaurants within like 4 blocks around. So you had to book it. Like you had to walk there, get in there, get your order in, get your food,
See,
eat it, and run back.
the best part about the high school I went to for the first half of my high school time, right across the street, and we were an open campus still. You can't do this now. But right across the street was one of the best donut shops in town.
Mm.
And that's where I think they actually can still go out there for lunch. That's when the come 2:30 the place would close because they didn't need to make any. They had run out of donuts and everything during the day for the school kids, but they had these amazing chili cheese fries that I was lucky. My class was near the front of the school, right across from the donut place, and I'd be there in like 2 seconds before the crowds got there. But this place is so good that every time DeSantis was in town, and he would come to my town a lot before he fucking lied and started running for president. I'm still bitter. Can't you tell?
You should be, and he's not doing very well.
No, he's not. There was actually
he's not.
we
stood up there like a wooden fucking puppet. I was like, "What is your problem?"
Like,
and then Christy, that fat fuck.
Oh god, you mean
I hate him
you mean
so
the
much.
boulder from fucking
I hate him so much. He was like, I wasn't raising my hand. I was going like this, like a shooing motion. What? Wimp. Ugh. Oh, I can't. I can't.
What?
Wait, what?
Got a phone call from a ghost? You can't just drop that and not elaborate, Suzanne.
Phone call from a ghost. That better not be a thing now, because I already don't answer my phone.
Oh, I think I understand.
Oh. Is it male or female? Would it be a
Divide. There we go.
child or a honey bunny?
Okay, we got someone else in the
Oh.
shit.
She said, "My brother, I haven't spoken to in
The
years."
trick
I
in
thought
the
you were
most-
going to get a little.
Okay. I was wrong.
I thought
Okay,
the strong
everybody.
man was coming.
We got the biggest truck driver with the smallest arms.
Uh-huh.
It's T-Rex.
T-Rex.
What's up, y'all?
What's
What's
up? What's up?
You know,
Speaking
chilling
of that,
in,
I'm going to light
Kentucky.
mine because why wouldn't I? What is
Man,
wrong with this
it's making me
fucking mic?
jealous. I had to stop that shit like a year and a half ago.
Listen, I don't smoke all fucking day. All day. I only smoke after 10 o'clock at night.
When did that change?
If I smoke, my
No, I'm
appetite's going to get
genuinely
even
asking.
bigger.
I've been doing that for like 3 weeks. And
If
it's
I smoke,
working out
my
very well
appetite's
for me.
going to get bigger, and I don't need to eat more food. I already eat too much. I'm fat enough as it is.
No, that
It
hasn't been a
depends.
problem. I've been eating fucking nothing but salads and like steak. So
Yeah, you need protein. The doctors say you need protein.
Giggity.
I was just wondering when you were going to catch up to your own joke, T-Rex. I was just,
yeah,
you know.
The thing that
I was like,
found,
he'll realize he said something eventually.
The thing about it depends on like if you're smoking like concentrate like dabs or if you're smoking straight flower. You're doing edible. Like I always found that edibles didn't really make me hungry. Like,
see, I would.
She said, "I'm not saying nothing."
The few times I have smoked, I never.
And yet you said so much in that statement. Go ahead.
It was when I was. It's when I was given some medicine. If you catch my meaning.
Yeah, that's what he called it too. Oh, I'm sorry. We're on a different subject. Go ahead.
That I'd get hungry.
Oh Lord, Shelly.
It's time for baby to take her medicine. Yes, Daddy.
Jeez.
Oh jeez.
I say that
Holy shit.
because it makes you so uncomfortable. I love how many people get uncomfortable when I say that.
You can say there's two words that you can. There's two words that I can say that will make Rex just destroy Rex.
Oh, I don't believe you. What are they?
Bonus hole.
Busy? See, now we don't know who he's laughing at because he heard both of us.
No, I actually only heard bonus hole before I started
laughing.
Okay.
Told you.
No, pussy.
What?
I think that's what you said. That just sounds like a good time.
That's not what I said. Skip it. Never mind.
Whatever. I'm not.
We're
wrong.
almost at the 2-hour mark. It's good. We should be good to talk like this.
You know I'm not wrong.
We have been talking like this the whole time. What are you kidding me?
I know. So much for monetization with this video. Fuck.
Bro,
I'm nowhere near.
You gotta get there first.
You're gonna miss out on your whole 47 cents from this video.
God, they are worse than fucking Somali pirates over at YouTube.
I like that, Stella. Any hole's a bone us hole.
Listen,
but not any.
Neil, I disavow what Outpost just said. I personally think that it's all Susan's fault. Still, you've only been there for like 6 months. Gotta give you a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Talking about the new Susan's no longer the CEO at YouTube.
Oh, that's right. Isn't it Rick or Rita or whatever the fuck that guy's
name? I thought
name
it was
is?
Neil.
Tony. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Bob. Mark.
No, Bob is in the drawer. He'll come out to play later.
That's what you call it, huh?
Yeah, the new Bob. Yeah, battery operated boyfriend. What do you call it?
Neil
No.
Mohan.
Vibrator
Wow.
dildo?
He answered the question anyway.
Oh, right. It is Neil.
I'm looking at a picture of him in a tux, and that fucking bow tie looks like it's about to make his head explode. He's so fucking fat.
Yeah, if any hole is a bonus hole, then you're gonna hear a rip. And you're gonna hear his rip because I'm gonna rip off his nutsack if he hits the wrong hole.
Yeah.
There's a no. No.
Oh, Shelly, come on. Come on.
Oh no.
Come on, try it.
No. First of all, you saying it to me is kind of icky.
Come on.
Stop it. If that's how you were sounding that night, no wonder why she was like, nah, go to sleep. I'm teasing.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm teasing.
I don't do that.
Nobody
kind of
knows what I'm talking about. Wait,
No.
a bonus hole is only a knife thrust? Bonus hole is only a knife thrust. Well, I think I've taken enough swords in. Thank you very much.
I was just say you been stabbed with a knife.
I've had my run-in with swords as it is, and then there was that one time my husband stabbed me.
God, I don't even know where to go from this.
Bigger is not always better.
How have I not heard that story? So I've all heard the stories of allegedly maybe you possibly have doing some things to some people that may or may not have passed the statute of limitations yet. But I never heard about him stabbing you.
Go back and listen.
Oh, that's two different people. My ex-husband stabbed me by accident with the sword. When he was pretending to be a knight or a damsel, or I don't know what he was pretending to be, because it was a faggy fucking sword. But he still stabbed me with it.
You think that's not a sword. This is a sword.
That's not a sword. This is a sword.
No, I remember what I wanted to talk about earlier. We were talking about DeSantis a few minutes ago. No, we were talking about DeSantis a little while ago. Thursday, there was a video released of him actually conceding, like saying he was going to drop out of the race. It turned out it was AI generated. It was fake. I remember we at one time we were talking with Winning a lot about like how AI is going to influence shit, and we're already seeing it.
The deep fake. Yep.
I remember because you couldn't see the video. I was listening to the guy on the radio talk about it, but he said if you saw it, it just looked wonky, but listening to it made you like really worried. But it turned out.
Okay, so your thing, nerd, always was that you thought that DeSantis shouldn't really run, and that he should stay running Florida until his term limit's up at the end of this cycle. I don't know how long your terms are for, 6 years.
He'd make a good president in 2028. I've said that from the start.
Yeah. At this point, isn't he?
And I'm starting to rethink that, honestly.
Isn't he pulling third?
Yes, but come on.
Yes, but the huge gap between Trump and everybody else is like nobody's going to come even close.
Haven't the recent polls put Ramaswamy above DeSantis?
Yeah, but they all have less than like fucking, what is it, 10% or whatever?
I'm looking it up. Trump has
Ramaswamy was like 7% the other day, I think.
Trump leads DeSantis by 45%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nobody that can come near him. I'm sorry. Whether they indict him or not, there's going to be a freaking revolt in this country. If,
did you guys see what the New Mexico governor just did?
Oh, fuck that bitch.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, my God.
That is just
Who does that?
That is just a lawsuit waiting to happen. She has no legal power to do that.
She should be in jail for that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go against the Constitution, aren't you committing treason in a fashion? There's got to be some name for that.
Stella, you're right. Sorry, I just want to say Stella is right. He has.
I would think that
DeSantis has tanked any chance of him running in 2028. Just has tanked it.
Nope.
Pence, Mr. Not My Problem, is at like 4%.
Who Pence said not my problem?
Yeah.
No. Tucker Carlson was interviewing Pence, and he was talking about
yep.
Why should Carlson asked him why should we really be sending billions to Ukraine when we have problems like homeless vets, and he lists off a couple of things in America. He's like, that's not my problem, and he goes on and tries to cover his ass by saying, it's not my problem, I'm running for president, blah blah blah. That's your problem, buddy. You know what? I was fucking told by this dumbass. He's a huge in one of my Discord channels that I talked to, just this random channel I found. He said, people have been rightly criticizing Biden about his response to Maui. It took him 2-3 weeks to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know how long it took Trump to get to my town after Michael? 5 days.
Like 4 days? Oh, I was going to say
5 days. Yeah. That was because they had to clear the runway.
Yeah. I mean, even Bush, right? Like during Katrina, he
they had
wasn't
bad
able
optics.
to land, but he did fly over. I know it's bad optics, but it's better than just not going.
Yeah.
Plus, there wasn't a whole lot of ways for him to move around on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
So
there wasn't, not safely.
Oh yeah,
this guy told me
he could have gotten trapped anywhere.
I mean, there were also
this guy told me that it's not
gangs.
the president's. He told me the president does not have to go to these natural disaster sites. You fucking kidding me?
Well,
I don't have to vote, but I should.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying, Shelly, right? While he technically doesn't have to do fucking anything, he should.
Mm-hmm. Hillary violated a lot of things.
1,000% agree, Stella. Pence has betrayed Trump like more. Trump,
like the little white-haired Pinocchio bitch that he is.
Pence has betrayed Trump harder than Benedict Arnold betrayed America. That man, I liked him. I used to, but now he's shown his true colors. I believe. I honestly believe. He's.
Oh, I heard those rumbles. DJ Knight saying, "Are we even going to get to that point where we get to cast the vote?" I don't want to say too many words, but because there are rumblings that's not going to happen.
And just yesterday and the day before, Nepat Harris said that she's ready to become president.
Mm-hmm.
Did Universal Studios re-implement the mask?
I don't know.
I think I might have heard.
Who's going to wear them? Everybody's on strike, aren't they? The actors are on strike. The writers are on strike.
I'm talking about the theme part.
Oh, then you could hide from her.
So funny. You're just full of jokes tonight, aren't you? Huh?
Listen, I had a very rough day, T-Rex. Now you have no idea the rough day. I have implemented banning. And I'm going nuts with it. So
yeah,
even with the voting thing, the possibilities of it being stolen again is extremely high.
And just what?
Because when you rob the bodega once, you rob the bodega twice. You always go back.
Did you?
Hold on, guys. Hold on. YouTube overlords. I am not saying, no one on this channel is saying that Biden is not the president. We all love our YouTube overlords, and we
hail to the chief.
Bow down to your will.
Was that loud enough? You think they heard me? By the way, YouTube, fuck you. Anyway,
Well, how do you think Epstein got him?
So I was thinking.
Yeah.
God, that's scary.
No. I forget what I was thinking. Did you guys?
Seriously?
Did any of you catch Jessica's stream today?
I did.
I was talking with her about that afterwards, and I think
very informative.
Very. And you know what? Sadly, I messaged Rex. I said, "Is she talking about Shelley?" Because I'm thinking she has nothing to do with those people anymore. I was like, I'm so glad I was wrong. I
would never fuck over Jessica. I apologize to.
Yeah, that's what I said. I even said it in the stream. I said I had ill feelings towards Jessica, but I decided, that toxicity needed to end, and we buried the hatchet.
Mm-hmm.
But like
I just outright apologize for being an ass, and not coming to her first.
That's basically what I did. I was just trying to be a little more coy about it because I looked like a fucking dumbass in all that.
Didn't we all?
That's what happens when you hang out with all the hens. You get pulled into the cluck party.
Cluck party.
Look at how
much. Music Man.
Oh my goodness.
It's like in the Music Man, and yes, I am a musical nerd, and I love Broadway shows. Fuck all you all. Yeah. It is not unmanly.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to look up the song because I can't remember the words.
Pick a little from the Music Man.
I am the music master. I come from Berlin, and I can't remember the rest of the song. And my kids used to love that song, and I got to write it down. So I got to fucking find it somewhere. It's like 3 songs that I kind of put together and made a mishmash of. But I can't remember the damn lyrics to it.
Wait.
A learning station.
Wait. What? Did you say mishmash?
I mishmashed them together. Yeah.
You
Why?
Mishmash them together.
No, mishmash.
Nope, you're wrong. Sorry.
I make up my own words, just like I make up my own Pokemon. It says meditate. I call it medititty. Like, that's just what I want to call it. And guess what? Everybody started calling it medititty because they just knew not to correct me.
My favorite Pokemon is the one that it's literally a trash can. I'm just like, all right, guys, whoever got paid to make that one, you fucking rock. Because it's like, I don't know, let's come up with a Pokemon. Oh, it's literally a trash can.
Okay, the letters are the most lazy to me. Like, really?
No,
it's a letter.
They have a trash bag Pokemon. They have an ice cream cone Pokemon. It is getting ridiculous.
Milk that medititty.
I stopped. It's
a mega titty for the mega pint.
And Pokemon around Black and White. When those were the games currently out.
I used to play Pokemon Go. I started as soon as it. I started in 2017 with my son because there was an excuse to get out and like walk around with him. Yeah, he gave that shit up in about a month, and I was stuck doing it. I was like, all right, and then Billy was doing it, so then we were like, competing because he wouldn't let anybody play with me. He wouldn't. He told them all to stay away from me. That I was crazy. I was like, fuck you.
I mean,
there was a place.
Yes.
You're saying you're not
as far as how he meant it. He was saying it mean. You could be crazy and not be like that. And
no, there was a place downtown. Our downtown was the marina, and there was a place. It was just an empty little field between the docks, and it had 3 gyms and on one end and 2 Pokestops on the other. You could sit in the middle of this little. It was a field where they would put on concerts and events and stuff. And you could put a lawn chair down, and you could hit all 5 of them without having.
Oh, that's awesome!
hundreds of people would show up, and I met so many awesome people and made so many great friends at these things. And then at one point, students, like clubs, like football teams from the local schools started coming down and selling. They would carry around boxes of pizza and sell like $2 a slice and raise funds for their clubs.
Oh.
We even had one crazy preacher guy come out. He rode a bike up on a bike and had one of those little microphones on the front of his bike. It's like, yo, go to hell. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's really nice. Went and talked to him, and they had a great conversation, and he left. There's no violence or anything. No, oh, you're going out. You don't believe me, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing. It's like, okay, thanks for sharing. Thanks for talking to me. Bye.
How did we get on that talking about Pokemon? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Because the Pokestop being a place where the community was meeting at one point.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't have any Pokestops by my house. None. And then the fucking lockdown happened. I was so upset. I was like, I'm going to fall behind. I get a message from my friend John. He's like a demented fucking Pokemon Go player. And he was like, have you checked Pokemon Go today? I was like, no. Why? Check it. And I was like, ugh. So I looked at it, and this is like day 3 of the fucking lockdown. I looked down, and I'm like, oh, he had a Pokestop put down right at my corner. He was like, there you go. He was like, you might not be able to do anything, everything, but you could at least keep up on your day-to-day stuff. I was like, oh.
See, living out in the country, I get a lot of Pokemon around my house. I don't have any. The closest stop I have is like a mile away, and it sucks. But there was one time we were out.
I have a ton. They're like right in my building.
Me and my friends, like people would stay till like midnight, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, playing at the marina. And cops, they roll around every once in a while just to check on everything, But they never gave them a reason to stop. There was one night, one of my friends, she brings a one of those fold out tarp gazebo things that you see at like sporting events. I don't know what to call them, but it starts, and then all of a sudden, the sky falls out, and it starts just pouring. We stick our phones in our pockets, and we should stay under our seats, and then the covering breaks from the water. Someone was in their car right beside us because they had parking spots on the side, and they posted it in the county Pokemon group. Like, who are these crazy people? They're so like these people are so obsessed. Like, that's me and my friend.
You want to hear obsessed? John is so obsessed. He decided one day we were going to do a raid car because they were doing all Mews all over the place, and they were doing Mewtwo's, and it was like he wanted to hit like every single one of them. This was after after they had done like the special raid passes and everything. It was just a legendary or just a mythical day, I think. Yeah. And he's like, okay, so raids start at 6 o'clock. We were like, at night? He was like, no, a.m. Okay, why are you telling me that? I was like, why are you telling me that? And he was like, we'll pick you up at 5:30. We'll run, get bagels, and then we'll start up in Jersey City. I was like, how long are we doing this? He goes, all day. He was like, the last raid is at 9:45. I was like, how many raids is that? He said, I think we could get in like 80. I was like, 80? I had to go friggin' buy all these damn tickets, right? All these passports. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, it's a good thing I got a lot of freaking coins. I had a lot of coins because he used to put me in all these gyms all over the place. And then he would play like all the fucking devices. So we would all win. And I mean, John was obsessed.
What team were y'all?
Obsessed. Originally, I had 3 accounts that were red and 1 account that was blue. Now I have 4 that are red, but my original account is red. Valor.
Good choice. Yes, I've always been Team Valor. Yeah.
Well, my ex-boyfriend was Team Blue, so whatever he was not on, I was going to be, and I don't like yellow. I love red. But we go at 5:30 in the morning. They picked me up. And I'm like, all right, I'm buying all this shit, whatever. And we get to this raid, and it's like, oh my God, there's so much traffic. There's nowhere to park. Meanwhile, John is posting in the Discord constantly, and he's talking back and forth with this guy, and he's giggling. And I was like, what the fuck is so funny? And he's in the back seat, he's behind me, and he's like pulling my hair, and he's like, oh, I got a surprise. I was like, what? There's a cop that's gonna escort us everywhere to the next raids for like the next 2 hours.
What?
I was like, why? He was like, because he wants to play too. And if he jumps in with us, he's definitely going to win. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, fine. Because you got to figure there's 5 of us, which would normally kick anybody's ass. But each of us has between 3 and 5 devices and accounts. I had mine set up all across my lap. I had a TV tray that I had put Velcro down, and I put down all my old phones and my iPad. And this way it didn't fall off. It didn't slide around. I could do whatever. And oh my God, the cramps in my hands by the end of the day from like the whole freaking time. It's like, oh, but yeah. So the cop led us around to each raid, and he was like, he'd just post ready, and we'd all jump in, kick its ass, get the thing, and go. And we didn't wait. As soon as it was dead, my friend Ryan, who's very gay, would just take off. And we'd go to the next one, and we'd be catching it in between there and then and trying to revive and whatever. And it was just, oh my God, it was such a hectic day every time we did that. When we finished, the last time we went was the highest we had ever done. I did 134 raids in one day. And they were mostly like big guys. So it was like, holy shit. But yeah, it was fun, man. We'd drive around, we'd go crazy, fucking drive really fast, try to like not get chased by cops, for parking illegally and shit. Try to get shit done at the light.
There would be nights like me and my friends, we'd get together, we'd get started at one end of the beach. There were probably about 2 or 3 cars, and every one of them had Wi-Fi in their car because they were fucking car nerds. And what we do, the one person would be driving it, and the passenger would have 2 or 3 phones. Same with the backseat passengers. And we just drive up the 15 miles up and down the strip all night. The beach on one side of us, the hotels and attractions on the other. We just hit Pokemon stops. We stop maybe at the mall, hit a couple of gyms, and we do that for until 5 or 6 in the morning. We'd start at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, go to the very next morning. I miss those days. That was a fun game. I'm actually checking my Pokemon now while we're talking about it.
Nice. You were gonna wrap up.
Oh,
weren't you? Or are you gonna stay? How about you stay? Because I'm getting tired.
Well, I might call it because we've been at this for about 2 hours, and I got stuff.
I just got real fucking tired all of a sudden.
The pot finally hit you.
I think so.
I just got bored and wanted to stream for some reason.
It was great. I had fun.
I completely forgot. I forgot Winning was on with Max tonight. I forgot Flash was doing it. I'm like, you know what? If I worry about
Shizzy's birthday.
I forgot about that. If I worry about when other people stream,
no, you got to worry about you.
I'll never stream.
No, I know. You got to worry about you.
And I got some stuff.
Good night, Stella.
Good night. I got stuff off my chest that I needed to get off before y'all got on.
Good.
But yeah, we'll call it. Yeah. So
I mean, you guys are, it's your channel. You can stay.
I'm getting tired too. I'm gonna probably put a podcast.
Or T-Rex. T-Rex is like, God damn it. What are you gonna do, T?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
But I did want to say one thing. I was just waiting for you guys to be done about Pokemon Go because I never really played it. Like I downloaded the app when it came out. I think I was like a junior or senior in high school.
God,
I feel old.
I hate you for that. Don't say that. God, don't always make me feel so damn old.
Now I don't feel bad for leaving you.
But anyways, so one of the things that Paisley wants to do, we're in Florida. She wants to drive from Orlando to Clearwater just to make fun of the Scientologists.
That's not a long drive. That's probably an hour and a half drive, I think.
Yeah.
It's about
Yes.
2 hours.
All right. I got to go, guys.
Hold on. Tell me what you're doing. Give us an update on like things to come.
Give me a second. Wait, what? Things to come.
Yeah.
There is the show with Winning tomorrow night. It is the Sunday watch party. I forget the name of it because it's really late and the pot's really hitting me. But it's tomorrow night on Winning's channel. We're going to be watching an old documentary on PsyOps and Project Paperclip. And we're going to, I get to ask them all the questions. You guys get to ask questions, all that. And then there's my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. morning stream, which has become so popular of a time slot. But that's it.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to do one last week because I had the day off. I could finally list the whole thing, but someone had to sleep.
I had to sleep.
I know.
And I have to sleep now. All right. I love you guys.
Love y'all.
Good stream. Bye.
Bye. You got anything going on, Rex?
Not really. The cell phone data ran out on my hotspot, so I will not be able to do any more driving streams until September 22nd.
Wow. Oh, that sucks. So, yeah, that sucks. But me, I got everyone check out my RPG Nightmare show. I got another edition I'll be doing tomorrow night. So, like always, find your passion and nerd out about it. I'm the nerd of the Outpost Nerding. We're gone.